Well, all right. Hello, friends. Welcome back to Double Cross, episode 22. I'm your host, Dan, at 2 Inches Short from the internet. This is my co-host, Dave, at Golfin' Jokes, also from the internet. We are available on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere podcasts are sold. Say it weekly. Thank you again to all of your support and your subscribes, ratings, reviews. All that's been super helpful. So thank you to all of you guys who have taken the 30 seconds or 5 seconds, however long you want to spend on it. But we appreciate it. If you want to support us, like we were saying, anything helps. We're here, we're rolling. It's very exciting. We got a BMW Championship that went into a playoff that we're going to get into, preview Tour Championship, and we got a little Ryder Cup, little Ryder Cup talk as things kind of round into form. So I do want to check in with Dave, make sure everything is working on his end. And Dave,
Dan,
tell me you can hear me. Can you hear me?
How's it going?
All right. Not bad, dude. How have you been?
Pretty good. Had a nice week off from work. Kind of just relaxed, played golf. Went to Niagara Falls with the wife.
Yes.
Just did some stuff around the house. So it was a nice week.
How was how was the round? I should probably ask you about Niagara Falls, but I'm going to ask you about the round first. How was the round?
We played in a scorcher. It was hot, but I mean, to be honest, you'll never hear me complain about the heat since I live in Canada. So winter will be here before you know it, and then be begging for the summer heat. So I'm okay with it. I know some people are like, oh, it's too hot, I want to play, but no. The round wasn't that great though. Didn't hit it well. Kind of just scraped it around, but it was fine.
How's the putting?
Wasn't bad. So I mean, I know we talked last episode about I'm trying something with my head back, and it seems to be helping. So we'll see if it can continue.
No peaking.
No,
right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the whole objective of trying to get the head a little bit back behind the ball, right?
Yeah. I mean,
good. Well, it's not
perfect, but it helps.
Were there any YIPS? Did you feel any of those, or did you feel
not really
solid?
All right. Not really. So
that is progress, Dave. For real. Congratulations. Yeah. That obviously keep working on that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, totally, man. Cool. And Niagara Falls. Yeah,
it was fun to get away from everything for a day. Hit up the casino a bit, went for dinner.
Nice.
I'm assuming you've never been to Niagara Falls, right?
I'm from New York, but no, I've never been to Niagara Falls. But you are on the Canadian side, right?
Yeah. So I mean, just looking from our hotel room, we could see the border, Seneca Casino in Buffalo. I don't know if you've ever been there.
Gotcha. I've heard of it.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, you're
nice.
You're a John Daly drive away.
Remember
back in the day when you tried to hit it over?
Yeah, over Niagara Falls, was it?
Over Niagara Falls, yeah.
I don't recall.
He didn't do it, but then years later, long drive guy Maurice Allen, or Smith, Maurice Allen, I think. He actually did it.
Really?
Yeah, he hit it over.
Nice. Wow, yeah. That's cool. I'm assuming you didn't bring your clubs with you on that trip with the wife.
No.
No, but that's awesome, man. Good for you. And a little time away from you said the in-laws were taking care of the little one.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, thank you to them for freeing you up. Exactly. Good stuff, man. Happy you had a good week off. Must have been nice. So we'll recharge the batteries. Excellent to hear. Mm-hmm. I played a little golf last week. I was able to get out in between groups and gave myself an opportunity to hit a golf ball off real grass on a real golf course. It was very exciting. I've been working on some stuff at the range, translated it over. I think we got the basics. I think we just gotta just gotta kind of get out and play more. I think that's where I'm at. I'm at now. You know,
Same.
I really was like, I didn't really want to go to a golf course and play unless I was like kind of really like happy like with how I was swinging it. And
Doesn't work.
so I was working on some things because I was like, I got to get better. I remember, I think I told you I got my ass kicked one day and I was like, this kid made 7 birdies. I was like, oh, what the fuck, man? Like, I gotta get better. So I was working on a couple things, working on some drills with my buddy out in LA, Wilshire Country Club. And he's,
You played there?
me a little, I haven't played there. He plays there all the time because he fucking teaches there.
He must, is he loaded? It's not like some super high privileged.
Well, I mean, he's teaching.
So he must charge some crazy rates, no?
He makes pretty good money. He makes pretty good money.
I would hope so. I mean, with those guys out there, you better be charging a few hundred.
He's doing a little pro bono work for me though, you know. Nice. So it's kind of a helpful thing. But yeah, dude. So I went out, hit it, and it felt good. You know, can't complain. We just gotta, like we were saying, gotta play more, and I think everyone needs to play more. So no, man, it was fun trying to get the handicap up, not trying to sandbag my friends, but just trying to give myself a chance because play pretty much the same golf course as where I work. So I been gotta raise it by a couple points right now. But that, again, not a bad problem to have. Was a good solid week. We had a first FedEx Cup semifinals, second playoff event with the BMW Championship. So let's get into this week on tour, the BMW Championship. Caves Valley took a bit of a beating. Took a bit of Patrick Cantlay gets in at 27 under, ties Bryson 27 under. Takes him to a 6-hole playoff, sudden death. Patrick Cantlay winds up beating Bryson to capture his 3rd PGA Tour win this season. We're going back to the Zozo in 2020. That counts as part of the season, by the way, Dave. It's his 5th PGA Tour win. He's 29 years old. Locks up a spot for the Ryder Cup. I mean, putted lights out. And literally, it was 41 for 41 inside 5 feet. It was 10 of 12, 10 for 15 feet. And I think it was 14.58 strokes gained putting, which is a shot length error record. Pretty insane. Good for Patrick Cantlay. Like we were saying, 27 under par. He was tied with Bryson going into the final rounds. Bryson, what a fucking guy that guy is. And so he had chances to win on every hole, on every playoff hole, had a putt to win it.
Yeah. His putter went cold, ice cold. And Cantlay was just on fire. I don't think I've ever remember someone draining all those putts in a row. Like, it was unreal.
Yeah. I mean, he even had a couple chances, but he missed those. But yeah, to get into the playoff, right? He had to make a couple 20-footers. And I mean, he was pretty much on fire.
I mean, Bryson blew it. It was Bryson's tournament to win. All he had to do on 17 was make a par from literally just off the green. Such an easy chip. Hit a terrible chip. Yeah, clubbed it. His chipping was terrible.
He was putting from 12 yards off the green at some points this week.
Yeah. So obviously he doesn't have any confidence in his chipping, and I can see why. And then in the playoff, his putter, he made that one good par save when he hit it in the water. But besides that, he had so many putts to win it, and some burned the edge, but none of them went down. Yeah. And then even on Friday, that putt for 59, it was pretty much the same putt he had in the playoff to win, and he missed it again on the left side. So
all of his putts that he missed under pressure were left and yeah. Bryson did shoot 60 on Friday, was it right? And I mean, the scores were incredibly low. We'll get into the course in a little bit. However, Bryson, I mean, he had the driver working, man, and it was incredible to see two styles of play, basically totally contrasting styles. Because like Cantlay's like, I mean, there was one hole where Bryson hit driver, he was just off the green, and Cantlay hit iron. Like they were like literally
Both made birdie,
20 yards apart, but both made birdie. Yeah. So it was. I mean, Bryson, he hit his driver well, man, but when he misses it, bro, it like,
oh, of course,
it is so far offline. It is so far offline. But you know what was amazing to me was some of the things that Bryson was doing, though, like the range of emotions watching him on the back nine. I mean, fist pumps, club twirls, looks of bewilderment. I mean, he had 6 iron. He took 6 iron, I think, into a 600 yard par 5. Yeah. And he was 40 yards short of the green.
Yeah, he must have missed it there. But sorry, back to the club twirl. If you're doing a twirl, especially in a playoff like that, you better make the putt. Yeah. You better make that putt.
Right. Now, while we're on the subject of Bryson doing stupid shit on the golf course, this was interesting. On the 14th hole, he's over his ball. Patrick Cantlay hit his second shot. Bryson asked Patrick to stop walking. Gets off the ball. He resets, hits a shot. From there, Cantlay rolled in a lengthy birdie putt, and like everything sort of changed from there. Dave, did you? What was your reaction when you saw Bryson call Cantlay out mid hole?
I'm like, why? Just like why do you got to bring that energy out? You know, like just stop, whatever, you know, and just let it go. But I guess he just, I don't know, I guess just how he is. I don't know.
I don't know, but like that's the kind of shit that like we talk. I mean, I talk about all the time. That like it really, he just brings it on himself.
Yeah, he brings it on himself, and then he wonders why he gets the negative press that he gets. And I mean, you know, like the commentators said when that happened, like it could screw with your own mojo doing that, calling someone else out. You know what I mean? It obviously never bothered Cantlay. Cantlay just turned up after that.
It was almost like it fired Cantlay.
It fired him up, yeah. And to be honest, I don't think it affected Bryson either. I feel like inside the ropes, nothing really bothers him. Like he's pretty good with all that stuff. Outside, once he's done this and that, then yeah, I think it starts to bother him. Just like, I don't know if you saw that ESPN report after the round when he freaked out at someone for calling him Brooksy. So it obviously, gets to him, even though he says it's flattering. Yeah. Okay. But right. It's full of shit.
Yeah, dude, that he apparently, it was Kevin Van Valkenburg who reported it, and it was really interesting to see. He described it as Bryson had like rage in his eyes and kind of was like, this might be getting out of hand.
And so what did Bryce say? Like, get the fuck out or something?
Yeah, basically it was like, yeah, like, who, I forgot exactly what he said, but he said something along those lines, like, who the fuck do you think you are? Get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah. This is on his way after losing 1 point. Yeah, I mean, he did win like $1 million, and then also did not go and speak to the media,
which he was doing all week.
And so he's been given like TV interviews, but not print and media, like digital or anything like that. I don't know, dude. It's weird. I don't think it's a good look. I mean, at some point you have to take responsibility for, I mean, you just won $1 million. Basically, I think you won like 1 point. I think it was $1 million for second place, and it's FedEx Cup, right? Probably. And I mean, we're talking about just asking a professional to do his job. It's and I understand, like, yeah, he's gonna get shitty questions, but like, doesn't that give you, first of all, those are warranted questions. Like, the things that he, he's going to get called out for like asking, why did you call out Cantlay walking up? Like there are things, I mean, because he just does things, but like, you got to take responsibility at some point.
So was there anything in his interview about that, or just didn't see anything? Like, did anyone ask Bryson about it?
No, I don't think he talked. He literally, I don't think
okay.
he talked to anybody after.
Yeah.
I don't know if I saw any quotes or anything, dude. I mean, it's starting to get to a point where like, you can't really blame him, but at the same time, you kind of can. And it's getting to this dilemma. We'll get into the Brooksy stuff in a little bit, because we would like to kind of touch on that further. But do want to just quickly touch on the fact that like Bryson, his long game might be saving his short game at this point, where like in golf, like normally your short game saves you. I mean, he was kind of clunking chips. And he
made a lot of putts, but he did miss a lot of makeable putts.
He made a lot of putts, but he missed a lot of putts. And we're not trying to give Bryson shit, but if you want to
see, the thing with Bryson is he made a lot of putts, first, second, third round, but when it matters, he misses the putts. I to be honest, if you ask me, is Bryson a clutch player? No, not at all. Cantlay is clutch player.
Yeah, dude. It was a total like just the whole way he went about. He just pissed me off, and I don't think he made any fans. NBC was saying that like they hadn't had really bad like Brooksy,
that's a lie. I'm sure there's
they were kind of trying to downplay it. Did want to kind of touch on this, Dave. I mean, is it getting out of hand? What are people supposed to do? What's the right course of action here? Are like, do the fans have an obligation or a responsibility to leave it alone, or are they entitled because they're paying money and drinking beer? And what do you expect from people who get riled up?
It's a weird dilemma, because in every other sport it's expected that the road team gets booed a ton, you know what I mean? Whereas in golf you have that, it's such a gentleman's game, this and that. But I mean, times have changed, all right, with social media, and with social media, especially when Bryson doing the stuff he does, and even Brooks, whatever. I think times have changed, and if someone wants to call someone Brooksy or whatever it is, I think it's fine. I mean, what are you going to do about it? You know what I mean? Like, right. There isn't really anything that can be done unless Bryson comes out and says, you know what I mean? It really bothers me. I think it should stop. But he doesn't.
And it's not like Brooks. It's not like Brooks is going to be like, guys, stop calling Bryson Brooks.
No,
right?
Brooks will never say that. I mean, and he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to.
No.
So but I'm saying if it bothers Bryson so much, instead of pretending and acting like some tough guy, no, it's flattering, this and that, when it really does bother him deep down, come out and say it bothers you, and then maybe it'll stop. And people might have some sympathy for you, but going about it the way you're going about it is never going to stop.
Right. It's kind of tough to have sympathy for a guy who basically creates these incidents, these issues. It's almost like he like, if things are just kind of going smoothly, something is going to happen with him. That's just, I guess, his personality.
Yeah. That's why he's super exciting to watch. Say what you say what you want about him. He's super exciting.
I was on my couch literally jumping up when he's missing putts. I'm like actually rooting against him. My dad, I talked to him after the round, he was really pumped up about the round. He was even like, I was like rooting against Bryson. And I'm like, holy shit.
To be honest, there's probably, he's on my top 3 list of most exciting players to watch. Obviously Tiger's number 1 for me. Phil might be number 2, and Bryson is right there at 2 or 3. Like,
well, I mean,
those are my
the
top
drives,
three.
the drives he hits, and then you don't know what's gonna like happen during the course of it. So yeah, I mean, it's entertaining for sure. You
Mhm.
know, I mean, there's nobody saying that, and part of the entertainment is accepting your place that you're creating this entertainment. And you know, it's like when there's like fire ants and you're complaining about fire ants, like your people are going to make fun of you for fire ants. It's just, that's just society in which we live.
How many times does he have to say, "Oh, I hit that so perfect," and it's in the water?
Oh,
Like literally every time it's in the water, it's a perfect
it's like
shot.
20 yards short
I know.
in the water, and it was a perfect shot.
Yeah,
So
okay.
like,
Maybe you hit it perfect, but you had the
it's
wrong
gotta
club.
be it's a coping mechanism. It's like his way of deflecting what's actually happening, because like as a pro, you have to essentially believe that you're right all the time and you're confident all the time. You know, like you can't. And the way he carries himself, it's almost as if like he doesn't really he doesn't afford himself the opportunity to make a mistake, you
Yeah.
know, and that's something that I feel like he makes
Instead
so
of
many mistakes.
instead of owning it, you know?
Right. Like he'd rather, exactly. Like I think you know, I said it earlier. Like there's just got to be, you got to take responsibility. An adult. You're a professional athlete. You got to take responsibility for what you're doing. Like, yo, you're hitting incredible drives. Like the things that he's doing. He's hitting pitching wedge 180 on
Yeah.
like that downhill,
No,
right? I mean,
it's
he's
fantastic to watch.
stuffing it to 5 feet, but then Cantlay puts an 8-iron inside his,
Yeah, that was
like a
crazy.
normal
That
person's
part.
8-iron.
Yeah.
But like the fact is, yeah, it's a blast watching him play golf. But it's what like, man, dude, it's content for sure. And that's kind of what all we could kind of say about
Yep.
it, really.
Yep.
But good for golf. Like, I mean, he's
It's good for golf. It's great for golf. So
yeah. And then he's going to the long drive contest, right? We're gotta, you know, see how that goes. I don't know whether he's,
that'll be fun to watch.
yeah, we'll see how that goes. But you know, you can't you could definitely, it's kind of like you love him or you could hate him. That's kind of his personality, right? And yeah, but anyhow, good for Patrick Cantlay taking down Bryson, which was great. Wanted ask Dave, I mean, scores were 20, close to 30 under, right? I mean, now granted, last year the scores of the BMW were like, the winner was like 4 under.
Yeah.
So, you know, but the last couple tournaments we were looking at 20 under par. Like, this is the playoffs. Do playoffs need to be tougher? Like, do courses need to be tougher?
I think so. I mean, first of all, Liberty National was super easy. I mean, but mind you, it's all about conditions with these courses. All about conditions. You can have the toughest course in the world. If it's playing soft, the pros are going to tear it up. Plus, add in 4 par 5s, par 72. You're asking for a birdie fest,
right?
Especially if all the par 5s are reachable, which they pretty much are for the most part at Cays Valley. So, you know, it means that you know, you can pick any course you want, but if it's soft, then there's no way around it. The pros are going to light it up. So,
Yeah.
but even if a course is soft, I never saw pros light it up like I saw this week. Like, this played super.
They were like 20 under through like,
yeah, like, to be honest,
before the turn on Saturday.
Yeah, and to be honest, if you weren't shooting 5-6 under, you're probably losing ground. Even Shane Lowry, he shot 65 in the final round. And then he asked about the course, and he's like, I don't like it. It's just, he's like, yeah, you know, if you make a few pars in a row, you feel like you're losing ground.
Yep.
And he's like, it's just, that's not the kind of style I like to play.
There was nobody over par in the field
at all, like ended.
I believe that was what was said. Every player was under.
I think maybe that changed by the end of it, but I don't know.
Oh. Well,
but
for what it's worth, I mean, you know, I did have some people gonna get back to me on. I think it was.
It's a nice course, though.
about like the fact that like, yeah, this golf course is not that easy. And like, well, nobody's saying that it's that easy. It's just when you have the best golfers in the world, you have to, there's got to be a different sort of challenge. I get it. It was wet, but like,
they should have grew up the rough
challenge.
or something, maybe, you know,
do something different. I don't know, man. I mean,
because the rough wasn't even penalizing, to be honest. So like, you know, Bryson missed a lot of drives in the rough and he had perfect lies, it seemed.
Yeah. I think the courses, I mean, if the playoffs, man, it should be tougher. I just think it should be tougher. I know, I think it was Olympia Fields was the BMW last year.
And that was super dry and hard.
And it was super dry. And you're right. I think it really, like, if Caves Valley didn't get any rain for 2 months prior to the tournament,
it'd be hard.
You're looking at an entirely different golf course. But like we're fucking playing golf. It's outside. We're at the mercy of the weather. You know?
Well, I'm pretty sure the Tour Championship will play tough like it usually does every year. Like usually you don't have winning scores past minus 12, 13 at Tour Championship. So it'll play tough, I think. Yeah,
I mean, East Lake but it's a classic golf course, right? I mean, it's not just the first time we've seen it, right? We see it every year.
And it's a par 70, I'm pretty sure.
And it's a par 70. And I'm pretty sure they got sub-air systems in there.
Probably.
And you know, and you know, they could dry it out and stuff like that. But at the same time, you know, we're playing ball in hands. These guys are at Caves Valley, right? At the BMW. They were playing lift, clean, and place. And it was just, you give these guys a perfect lie on a dartboard. It's basically a dartboard. You know, it's just, I don't know. I play some.
Wait, in the final round they weren't playing that though, right?
No, it wasn't the final round. But how do you get to 20 under?
Because Bryson had a couple of mud balls. I remember.
Yeah, that one that he hit. Well, he got it. He had 2 balls in the water, 2 consecutive holes.
Oh, on Saturday. Yeah, Saturday. That was Saturday.
But Saturday, I mean, that one that he did, I think it was a 4-iron he hit way right. That was because of the mud. Like, that wasn't just like a bad swing.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm sure it was just a bad break in his mind, and you know, whatever. But yeah, like to see some tougher golf course, tougher venues. Go to someplace dry. You know, do something different.
Where is it next year? Caves Valley again? I wonder if it is. I would be curious to see how that plays next year.
I don't know. I gotta take a look at that. I didn't do my research enough for that yet. So anyways, Patrick Cantlay, good for Patrick Cantlay. Like we were saying, we head to the Tour Championship. We'll preview that in a little bit. We just want to talk about a little bit what we saw this past week. Real quick. Phil Mickelson torches the USGA on social media. Why wouldn't Phil? Phil fucking hates. You probably won't find someone who hates the USGA more than Phil. Basically, the USGA, there's rumors, or it hasn't been done yet, but that they're going to be banning drivers over 46 inches long. Brings in a lot of questions as to why that fucking matters.
Yeah, stupid.
Especially like what happens if you're 7 feet tall? You might need a bigger, longer driver. But yeah, I think Phil plays with like a 47 and
he does
47 and a half inch driver. And he was chirping back at some people as being like, well, that's a you know, anything over 46 gimmicky. He's like, are you calling like the PGA champion gimmicky? Which is pretty hilarious. But yeah, I don't know, Dave. I mean, I think we're both in agreement here. You got to change. It's the ball. It's not the length of the driver. I mean, Bryson also plays I think a driver that's over 46 inches too.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, Phil makes a good point. He's like, you know, all a longer driver does is promote a longer fluid swing, which is, you know, less injury prone. You know, so it's just it does nothing. But what does it do? It's harder to hit. So why are you even gonna ban it? What? It's not like it helps you score better. Yeah, okay, sure, It adds a few yards distance, but what good is that if you can't even control it? If you're tall or whatever, you have a longer swing. What's wrong with it? It's just the USGA just doing something just to do it that makes no sense.
I mean, they tend to make these decisions like the, our anchoring ban and all that other stuff and mid-length putters and shit like that. Do you think the USGA just like focuses on the wrong things?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that they should be doing if they want to do anything is do something with the ball. That's the only thing they need to do. Other than that, I don't know what they keep changing.
There's got to be.
And there are some rules that they've changed, which
has helped
for sure. Then there are some that still should be changed, and they're not, because they still make no sense, or they make sense, but they're just stupid. So yeah, I just think they do look at the wrong things.
I mean, it's clearly the golf ball. Like that's what is going on here. And, and I understand, shortening it. Nobody wants to see shorter drives, but like we're talking about an issue, it's becoming an issue, and it has been an issue for the past couple decades. Right. So I don't know. We'll see if they, maybe a tour ball, maybe something like that but it seems like it's
going to happen. 100%.
It's got to happen. Otherwise, we're going to run out of land.
Yeah.
It's funny because it feels like we know what the problem is, yet we just refuse to acknowledge what the problem is. Like that's very golf, in my opinion. Right. So, I hope we'll take a look at it, but Phil torching the USGA never gets old. Had to talk about that. Got to talk Tiger. Tiger turned pro. So it was like this past weekend was 25 years ago. He turned professional. Was seeing the Curtis Strange interview, "You'll Learn" speech to Tiger when Tiger was like, "I'm just gonna go out there and win," and Curtis Strange is like, "Oh,
it's got to be one of the stupidest takes in history."
Yeah, you'll learn. So I was watching that. Dave, obviously we're big Tiger fans. You have anything to say? 25 years of pretty much perfect golf.
I mean, no, well, it's been 25 years, but to be honest, you probably only got 15 years of Tiger, since feels like 10 years he's been on the sidelines. Feels like it's
even less than.
So yeah, it's 25 years, but meanwhile he's had the career he's had in say 15 years, to be honest.
Yeah,
because if you add in all the injury and time away from the game, he's probably missed like fucking 10 years, it seems like.
It might, like I was saying, I think it might be it was like felt like 74 years.
It's a long time. Yeah.
And now we're in the midst of who knows what's going to happen.
Who knows how? Yeah. So right? I mean, yeah, time flies. But
I mean, again, I just it started with the Milwaukee Open, right? In the Hello World,
and I got a hole-in-one that week actually too.
Yeah, and then he made a hole-in-one at Scottsdale, I think that same year. But then I don't think he's made one on tour since then. I think
no, I don't think so. I think those are.
But he's got he
has like 16. He has like 16 or 17 hole-in-ones in his life, he says. But yeah, on tour those. I don't think any has happened since those two. Yeah.
But yeah, and then I saw a couple of discussions about like what was Tiger's prime. Was it 97? Was it 2000? Was it 2001, 2002, 2005, 2013, or 2019 or something like that? It was like, how many primes could someone have? But that's what's crazy about the whole career of Tiger Woods, because when you look at Jack's record, right, like he had a shit ton of runner-ups and had chances to win so many majors, but like at the same time he played like twice the amount of majors that Tiger has played in. So
his career was just way longer than Tiger's. And Tiger in pretty much half the career as Jack has more wins than Jack. And he has 4 less majors in half the amount of attempts.
Yes.
So
pretty good.
And incredible.
What's what's like if I just be like, hey, what's the one Tiger stat that sticks out at you? Like that, like the most mind-blowing Tiger stuff that you
For
got.
me, it's got to be the made cut streak. Just because you know how golf is. You wake up one day feeling fantastic. You wake up the next day, you suck. You can't even hit a golf ball. So to do it 142 consecutive weeks, making a cut and playing is incredible.
Yeah. I mean, there's tons of Tiger stats, but I literally agree with you that 142 cuts made could be the world number one. You know,
that is one streak or one record that will never
be broken
ever.
Yeah, 142 will never be broken. Yeah. Because it's so easy to miss a cut now because like you don't really have as nearly as Tiger was playing to win every fucking week. Like he took 0 weeks off when he entered a tournament. Like, fuck you. I'll tell you what, man. I miss the hell out of watching him playing golf. It's so frustrating not seeing him. And like, you know, I was like kind of in and out of the BMW. Like I watched during the weekend, but like, you know, if Tiger's playing, I'm sitting down and we're watching golf. I mean,
I have not missed a Tiger round and I can't even remember since.
I know it's when. Like a appointment viewing.
But nowadays, if I don't watch any golf, it is what it is.
Yeah. So, you know, anyways, just had to give a shout out to our homeboy Tiger Woods. We miss you, buddy. We're excited. We're excited you're on the road to recovery, hopefully. What else, man? I did see Ryan Palmer putted a ball out of a greenside bunker. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I love that play. I've done it before. You know, when you don't really have a lip and you can, you know, you got to work the ball back towards something. It's not a bad play.
It's not. I just want to let you know. Especially if the sand's firm.
Right.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you know, if it gets some rain and it's patted down, it's a good play.
I had to. It was just something because I've done it in my during a round of golf because I've had to, and sometimes you know you need to be able to play shots with all the clubs at all the time, and that is playing golf. It's not just one club for each thing. Real quick, did want to touch on. Did you see Ian Woosnam, his hot dog video?
No.
The hot dog and wine video. He's like the wife isn't home, so it's like hot dogs and wine for dinner, and it's just him making a hot dog, and he splits the hot dog down the middle and calls ketchup, tomato sauce, and then doesn't shake the mustard, and like all of the liquid pours out of it before the mustard and stuff like that. Anyways, it was pretty hilarious. If you have a chance to check it out, Ian Woosnam, hilarious dude. Sometimes good follow on Twitter sometimes, which is funny. And then dude, did you see these cinnamon toast cereal head covers?
Yeah, I saw that. Colin McCraw. I saw the commercial he did or whatever.
$300 for the driver head cover and $225 for.
So dumb.
You know how many boxes of cinnamon toast crunch you could buy for $525?
Yeah, that's stupid.
So many. I saw someone put a box of cinnamon toast crunch like on their bag, like on their head, and he's like, "Does this work?"
Yeah.
Like, no, of course it doesn't work. Plus, who knows? Did you see it? Is anyone gonna know what that is, or do you think it just looks like a poop emoji almost?
Yeah, that's what I thought when I first saw it. I swear to God, that's what I thought.
That's funny. Yeah. All right, so that takes care of what we saw. Real quick, keep you guys informed. Other tour news. This past week, European Tour, European Masters. Rasmus Højgaard, by the way, 20 years old, third Euro Tour win. Probably going to be hearing his name more. Danish dude, gonna be great player. Adam Svensson, Canadian, wins the Nationwide Children's Hospital Championship on the Korn Ferry, and Joe Durant wins the Ally Challenge on the Champions Tour. Dave, let's do a little. What's now becoming a weekly segment before the Ryder Cup is let's play captain and pick our teams as of today. Six officially qualified on the U.S. side. We are looking at officially qualified Colin Morikawa, DJ, Bryson, Brooks, JT, Cantlay with the big win on Sunday. So we're looking at 7, 8, 9, 10. We got Tony, Xander, Jordan, Harris. 11 is Patrick Reed. 12 is Daniel Berger. 13 Webb. 14 Scotty Scheffler. 15 Kokrak. Down the list, Phil sits at 20. We're not picking Phil.
He'll be on the team as like a captain or something.
As a captain, yeah, probably. So now we have our 6 set for the U.S. team. Again, apologize to Europe. We're strictly talking about the U.S. team in this episode. Like our 6 qualified. I think we're on the same page, and you can kind of correct me if I'm wrong, but Tony, Xander, Jordan, Harris are our next 4 in. Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So then that leaves us 2 picks. 2 picks, Dave. 2 picks. 2 more captains picks. Patrick Reed sits at 11, who's qualified for the Tour Championship, but it came out of the hospital. But who knows how he's feeling? I'm still putting him on the team, dude.
I don't know if he doesn't play, how can you really is he playing this week? I don't think so.
If he doesn't play in the Tour Championship,
can you really put him on the team with 0 form basically coming in? I
mean, we're talking the Ryder Cup is 3 weeks after this week, 2 weeks.
You know what? I think it's going to depend on Stricker, giving him a call saying, hey, how do you honestly feel? Like
3 weeks.
Are you what's the chance that you're going to come ready, prepared? And if he doesn't get some, guaranteed answer, this and that, then I don't think he's going to be on it. But I don't know. I'd be curious to see. Don't get me wrong. I hope he's on it for just as a viewer.
Right. Yeah, dude. I'm thinking it's 3 weeks after the fact. I think that there's gonna have to be some. If you put him on the team.
Can you imagine a Bryson Reed pairing?
I mean, it's like the most hateful.
And they go 5-0.
I would think they would.
And they go 5-0, and then obviously, and all the Americans just are rooting for them, even though they normally hate them.
It's just a constant,
pretty crazy.
Which I'd like to talk to in a second after we do about the captain's picks. We want to talk a little team camaraderie, but we do want to just kind of talk about, I don't know, Patrick, dude. I think you'd be smart to put him on the team. Then if he couldn't play, then you put someone else on the team. That's how I would do it.
Yeah, that's always an option. Yeah.
So that's kind of would be mine. So who would be your 11th pick then? Mine would be Reed.
I would.
I don't like the guy at all. I don't like Reed at all. But I'm gonna put him on the Ryder Cup team just because
I'm pro Kisner on the Ryder Cup team.
So you're going with a dude who's 18th on the list.
Yeah.
As your 11th pick.
Yeah.
Okay.
To be honest, I think you guys don't necessarily need the best players in the world. You need the best players, best match players who are good in that environment. And I think he's good in that environment.
Yeah.
And everyone on the tour likes him. So he's good for the team room.
It's good. It's good. I mean, you're making valid points, dude. I don't disagree with you.
Plus, he just won, so his form, is decent right now.
Yeah,
for sure.
Oh, for sure, man. But but at the same time, it's like, hey, do you take a Scotty Scheffler who, who's had a great year?
Scheffler is one of those guys, though.
He's a young dude who might get some experience.
Yeah, it's good for him experience. I'm sure he'll be on some future teams. I question how how clutch he is though, and especially in that environment. Like I see him all the time. He's up. He's like great round one, round two, whatever. But he can't close the deal. I don't know. I find him just missing a lot of putts when he needs to make and making those big numbers. And
well, I mean,
I don't know.
I mean,
you know, be good. Webb Simpson is another one who's on that list, and he's a good choice too, I think.
I agree with you there. I like Webb Simpson. I like Daniel Berger potentially.
Berger, yeah,
he's had a good year, and he's a good team guy. I mean, and what about like someone like Sam Burns, who played awesome, you know, and it's
tough, man. There's so many guys. You can go with any of those guys, and okay, yeah, I see it.
But then we do have to talk about this because we're looking at the top 6, right? So first of all, just to wrap it up, so we have like basically 10 picks. It's going to be a rotating for 11 and 12. You know, we threw out some names. We'll continue to kind of fine tune it because we do have a tour championship, which we're going to preview shortly. But do want to talk about team camaraderie on Team USA, which I know is come into question just because, like, you know, I'm looking at the list, right? With the 6 guys who automatically qualified. You have Bryson, and then you have Brooks, who they hate each other. We were talking about this.
Yeah.
And then
so there's a something I tweeted, or I made a post today on Instagram. Someone tweeted. So they're like, so just to clarify, on the US Ryder Cup team, Brooks and Bryson hate each other. Cantlay and Bryson hate each other. Brooks and DJ hate each other. And if he makes a miraculous recovery from pneumonia, Reed hates everyone and everyone hates him. Good luck with those US pairings. Now the Brooks and DJ hating each other, I think, is a bit of a stretch. I think there is some kind of friction there because I remember they used to be best boys. Even Brooks, when he was on Faraday one time, they asked, who's your best basically friend on tour, and he's like, oh, Brooks is like my brother. I don't think that's the case anymore. You don't see them together anymore, this and that, you know what I mean? So I think something definitely happened there. Do they hate each other? No, I don't think so. But yeah, it's definitely some weird chemistry dynamics in that team room that's gonna take place. So
yeah, I understand it and I hear it, and I think Stricker asked.
Apparently he's been calling Brooks and thing,
like, and said like, Brooks, like, fucking tone it down, like let's win a Ryder Cup, and apparently Brooks has been doing that. I mean, I would assume Brooks was probably watching with great intent yesterday, but yeah, I mean, I honestly don't think it fucking matters. I think these guys are going to go out there and play golf. I think they're going to leave the bullshit on the side. I get why people point to the idea that, like, the team chemistry isn't the best. And yes, we're talking about a bunch of alpha males who are competitive against each other literally 51 weeks of the year, right? So like, there's gonna be some disagreements there, but I think we're gonna put the bullshit aside because I got a feeling we're gonna be playing golf, and that's what matters, not what did Bryson call Brooksy or Brooks, all that stuff. So I mean, granted, the pairings are gonna be fascinating. And we were talking about a couple pairings that we liked, and a couple that, like, I'm looking at right now, Dave. I mean, with assuming Xander's on the team, we really like Patrick, Cantlay, Xander, right?
I can guarantee that is going to be a pairing.
Yep.
I think Bryson could be paired with Spieth or JT. I think is another could be logical choice. I think those two make sense.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think it's good that one of our studs is Kyle Morikawa, who doesn't seem to have an issue with anybody.
Oh, yeah, so he'll be good with anyone.
I think you could kind of put him. I don't know. Maybe him and like a DJ might be.
Yeah,
might be interesting.
I like that. DJ's driver. Cantlay's iron game, or Morikawa's iron game, yeah,
something like that, or that might be a good one. I mean, I think Brooks JT's. Did Brooks play with JT?
I think they did, and I don't think they did too well, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong, but
I don't know. But then you get the potential of like a Thomas JT Spieth situation.
I know although I don't think they've worked out too well either in the past, right? Yeah.
But then you got a tone. There's
although Spieth and Reed worked out well.
Way back, back in the day, right?
Yeah.
And then you have a Harris English who could potentially be a pick, and but based on what we're looking at pairings wise, I mean, I'm looking at Cantlay, Schauffele. Bryson has got to play with someone though. What about like a Bryson Tony?
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good pick. I like that.
Something where like you could balance his insanity out. I don't know. Just a thought. We're just we're running a little long here, so we'll cut that off. But just want to throw out some potential pairings. That's a little Ryder Cup segment. Obviously, we're super excited. Dave, did you see the first tee? They're building like a skyscrapers around it.
It's gonna be awesome.
It's gonna be awesome. Very excited for the Ryder Cup, but we do need to get into the Tour Championship, the Net Tour Championship, the final event of the FedEx Cup season, the PGA Tour season, the PGA Tour finale, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Obviously, East Lake Golf Club, home of Bobby Jones, right? Like super classic, historic. He's usually played not super easy. DJ is the defending champion. It's par 70, 73, 46. Top 30 are currently in the field, pending whether Patrick Reed plays or not. But do need to say, obviously, Patrick Cantlay leads the FedEx Cup, and therefore he will start at -10. Tony Finau will be starting at -8. Bryson at -7. John Rahm at -6, Cameron Smith -5, and then at 4 under we have JT, Harris English, Abe Answer, Jordan Spieth, Sam Burns. 3 under you got Colin Morikawa, Sungjae, Victor, Louis, and DJ. And then 2 under is Rory, Xander, Kokrak, Kevin Na Brooks. Corey Connors starts at 1 under. We got just 1 under. We got just the top 30 in the field. There, Roy got him, by the way. Corey Connors, like I was saying, Scotty Scheffler, Danny Berger. Sergio snuck in, by the way. Played well this past week. Fucking good for Sergio. Dave, you have any thoughts? I mean, we're going to be, what do they play the back nine first? Because they flip the nines and usually plays, it's a fun tournament. Tiger won it in 2018. But I'm excited. I mean, we got $15 million on the line, and a couple of guys have a shot at it. I don't know. Do you have any thoughts or feelings, or have a winner for it, or?
What is Rory starting at again?
Rory is starting, I think he was at 2, I want to say.
So yeah, he's a bit far back to win it all.
It's only 8 shots.
Yeah, I still think it's a bit much. I can see Rory shooting the best this week. Like, I feel like
and not winning.
Yeah. But as far as taking home the FedEx Cup and 15 mil, I can see Cantlay hanging on and going back to back.
Wow.
Yeah, I think I don't know if his putter's like it was this week, for sure. But I still think Rahm is due for. I thought Rahm was going to win. He was my pick to win the BMW, and he started really well, and then kind of just sucked. Yeah. But he's only 4 back. I could see him making a push.
Yeah, that was my pick was Rahm. I mean, I think he's been big in every big tournament.
Yeah.
And this is a great golf course. Sets up well for him. I think he's going in as one of the favorites. I mean, got to.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So
Bryson, I don't know how great this course suits Bryson, to be honest.
Yeah, well, they were basically playing for a 3-shot lead, Bryson and Patrick Cantlay this past week.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm gonna go with Rom. There. Too bad we can't pick Phil, but there is no cut. We'll see if Patrick replays. But yeah, man, that's then we got the Tour Championship. Like I said, it's always exciting, and then we got the Ryder Cup coming up, which we're super pumped about. So, I think that wraps up this week.
Yeah.
Feeling good. All right, Dave. Before we wrap it up though, do you have to say, do you like starting at 10 under par? Do you like this?
I don't like this thing at all. No, stupid.
Yeah, don't like it at all. Should be changed. Hopefully we change it sooner than later.
Yeah. I understand why they do it. Otherwise it makes just the whole season and playoffs kind of worthless if everyone just makes the top 30 and you get to play for the 15 mil. So I understand why they do it, but I don't know. I'm just not a fan of it.
Yeah, dude. I don't understand how you could count this as an official PGA Tour win when
you shouldn't.
You're starting with a handicap.
Yeah. Yeah. To me, it should just be a tournament for the FedEx Cup and the money, but it should not count as official win. Yeah. Unless they did like, you win the tournament, everyone starts normal,
like a net and gross, right?
Yeah, exactly. Unless they did it like that, which they could easily do. I don't know why they don't.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. I have no idea. All I know is that like this has got to be changed. I don't like it. I mean, it's gonna make for exciting golf. I would hope, and we'll see what happens going into this last week. But can't believe the season comes to a close this year. I mean, it starts again in a couple of weeks.
You know what they should do? They should do it so based on points, you're awarded a certain amount of mulligans for the week. And you can use them at any point. So like
again, not an official tour event.
so Cantlay, he gets like 4 mulligans during the week. Do you think he would win with 4 mulligans? I don't know, but yeah,
that's it.
They should change. They should change to do something. I don't know.
I like that idea, Dave. Well, we'll keep thinking about it. Maybe we'll submit our ideas to the commish Jay Monahan at some point, but maybe not this year, down the road. But hey, man, hell of a chat, and happy, glad you guys have been hanging with us. Thank you to all of you guys who have been with us. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, do it. Like, review, rate, any feedback, any positive feedback is good feedback. Again, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, podcasts are sold. I'm Dan at 2 inches short. This is Dave at Golf and Jokes. You folks have just been double crossed. We are out. Peace.